Hey, what's going on, guys? I am on a mission to show you guys how you can catch fish, a decent amount of fish, in a fairly highly pressured park or area with the simplest of gear. Let's go. Well, the number one rule, and if you follow my channel, you'll know this, is you got to get on the water. You got to get away from where the rest of the people are casting and away from the pressured fish. So if you want to catch fish in a pressured area, you gotta get your feet wet, literally and figuratively. The second thing is we're going with a fairly simple and easy rig that catches a lot of fish. You're gonna catch some decent ones, and you're gonna definitely catch the small ones. And that is with just a basic spoon. You can go with the MEPS. You can go with any of the plethora of different kinds of spoons. They're easy. I recommend getting one with a nice bright colored feather or like piece of yarn. It's a nice bright attractant. I think that should work for today. We're about to find out. Now, prime example from the park entrance, where you can really walk in as anybody, and if you don't want to get your feet wet, which most people don't, and granted we're only standing in a couple inches of water, I'm well beyond casting distance. So this bank side doesn't see a lot of pressure. So those are the areas you want to get to. Those are the areas kind of out of the way that you can either wade to or kayak to or float to or whatever, however you get there. Find those areas that don't get fished a lot. That's where fish will tend to congregate, especially if it's in a very high pressured, high traffic area. Let's see if I prove myself right. There we go. First fish on. Well, like I said, you're gonna catch some small ones, right? I did say that. We'll catch a lot of these today. This is Mr. Rock Bass. Rock bass are plenty in this body of water. Thank you for the splash. We'll let you go. Oh, there we go. Like I said, we're gonna catch a few of these guys today. These little rock bass, and they'll come in assorted sizes. We'll catch some of these dinks. I'm sure we'll catch a few chunks. There we go. Another rock bass. Oh, Rockies aplenty today. Will be had. And what would make me extremely happy is if we ran into the occasional smallmouth. That would be great. There we go. Well, there was a whole slew of them. I saw them all separate when I hooked him. Another Rocky. Oh, look at that quick release. See you, buddy. All right, guys, so another great tip is when you see a fast-moving section of water and then it's followed by a larger slack pool, I'm going to fish both the edges of the current and the back and front side slack parts of that current. You won't find a lot of smallmouth for this particular body of water directly in the current. They're going to hang just outside of it. They're not going to waste a lot of energy fighting that current, but they are going to look for those smaller fish and injured bugs and whatever to come getting swept down the current, and they're just going to reach out and attack it. So it's really good to fish the edges of those current and the slack pools on either side. So that's what we're going to try. Oh, dang, son. Got a smallie out of the pool. I saw he came rip-roaring out of there. So I was just skating this by. Again, the rocks just on the edge there, trying to work that little bit of cover. Got us a little smallie. Not too shabby. Gonna let him go. So another tip is to work your cover. If you find logs or current breaks off a big boulder, those are the areas you want to work. So we're going to try this log right here and see if there's any fish on it. There we go. Ooh, I don't know what was chasing him, but it was something much bigger than him. So we are going to let this guy go and get right back in there. All right, we let him go. We're gonna see if we can get after whatever was back in there with him. Dang, of course there's kayakers coming. Let's see if we can get back in there and make whatever it was attack. Ah, dang. There we go. See if we can get another one. How's it going?
Hey.
How's the paddle?
It was good. A little shallow.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been due for a good rain.
Yeah, we need it. Oh, it came down pretty damn good.
Yeah, for a second there, didn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. We hunkered down for a few minutes.
Let's see what else is back in this little cut here. Nice little pool off of this bottleneck. Now when it's not too bad of a current like this is, I do like to pitch across it if I can and rip it across, not really rip it, but just kind of pull it across that current to act like it came washing down there. To see if something is maybe hiding on. So I'll pitch the far side and bring it through, and maybe something's waiting on that near side. I'm gonna try up at the head. There we go. All right. Another little smallie. Nothing too big, but we're doing a little bit better on the species though. A little more aggressive smallmouth. He is eating well in that little pool too. Nicely done. Let him go. He is right back to it, as we are. Right back to it. So, like I'm saying, I like to pitch up near where that current's kind of really getting most of its action. Those smallmouth like to sit there and wait in ambush for anything to get tumbled down there. A minnow that just got sucked into the current and he's coming down, bouncing off all those rocks. Same with like a bug that landed on the water and he can't recover and he gets swept up in that water. All right, I think we've worked this section pretty well. We do have a little bit of a minor split here with some calmer water, so I'm gonna kind of peel around this way and then make it back to our larger pool we got back above those rapids and see if there's anything that's been trapped back here in one of these calmer pools. Okay, before we stomp through this, I do want to take a few casts just to see if anything's sitting in shallow spots. It sure was. Little itty bitty rock bass. He's just, well man, he popped right out. Just sitting there waiting for us. Toss him back there. Let's see if anything else is sitting up here. There are some deeper rocks right there. So it's a good idea to, ooh, there might be a few more fish in there. I felt something take a little nip at it. Take some nibbles and kibbles at it. I see a lot of sticks in the water too. This is a good area for some cover. Yep, there we go. Hello, little rock bass. As you guys, if you watch my channel, you'll know what we call these. Because they bite everything, and they are river bullies. For that reason. They literally just attack everything, and they'll get in the way of all your good catches. Dang river bullies. They're fun to catch though. Okay, another spot to try in some of your pressured areas is at the top and bottom of little bottleneck rapids. So we just fished the bottom down there, caught a few fish. Now the larger pool up here, we're going to try to fish that. And these are where fish will stage in between, you know, hard rains, where they're really not going to try skinny rapids until they get enough water to really move down there without risking injury. So I mean, there's no trout in here. They're not brave in that. These are just smallmouth and rock bass and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, we're gonna try the top and bottom of the bottleneck. Bottom worked. Let's see if the top of the bottleneck works. Clearly the first area I want to try is under this tree. Why? because this is a low-lying tree. Bugs fall off of it. It provides a shade and cover line. So this would be one of the more prime areas. And I can kind of tell it is not very deep at all. But we are going to give it some casts just to give it the all clear. And then we will work the rest of the pool. But because this is the highest priority casting area, we're going to cast it first. Well, nothing directly on top of that bottleneck or under those trees. We did get a little bite, but I also lost one of my spinners trying to be an assassin and cast that right under that tree and lost it into the tree. So we are continuing on. It's still a nice little slack pool down here before we get to the next bottleneck. So I'm going to continue to try to work this little slack area and see if this is another staging area for some smallmouth. I hope so. So another tip is whenever you see small minnows and bait fish, like in an area where they just jump to the surface all in like, you know, a group of 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever, they're getting chased. They're getting chased by something. So if that's the spot you want to attack and see if you can be a part of that chase. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I just saw a couple little spots over here, so that's something you gotta watch and be active for. Well, new color on, which leads us to another tip. And this is serious. I know I just snagged and lost my lure, but you gotta throw it like you're not afraid to lose it, because bass like to get tucked up next to rocks and next to logs and next to like that area that they're going to ambush. So they do get in those tricky spots. You're not going to find a lot of great bites out in the middle of nowhere, especially in creek situations like I like to fish here. They're going to be tucked away because this water is fairly shallow, and they have a predator prey instinct as well. They like to hide and not be become victim themselves. So they like to hide away and get tucked away under rocks and hard to get places. So you got to throw it like you're not afraid to lose it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pitch it straight up the center of this rapid. And I'm just going to kind of work it slowly back downstream, like it's one of these minnows or bugs that just kind of got tossed around. And there you go. Speak of the devil. And yeah, probably our better smallie of the day so far. And like I said, he was just waiting for something to get tossed down the rapid. And there he was, lying in wait. Nice little creek smallie. Yes, sir. Better one of the day. Nice and dark. So guys, pay attention to those rapids. We've pitched right up into the rapid and we're just kind of pulling it off to one side. And these fish will lay in ambush on one side or the other, just waiting to snatch something right out of the rapid. So tip number, I don't know what. All right. Thanks for the bite, buddy. Get up here in the edge of this pool. There we go. Chunky little rock bass. Nice. Getting a steady bite. I'll show you the color we're fishing here. It's this like yellow and gold tiger king, tiger stripe looking kind of thing. We got some chartreuse and a little bit of flash in there to give it some shine. Nice little feather. It's a decent little spoon. There we go. Another rock bass guaranteed. Rock bass are fun to catch, but man, they don't put up much of a fight, and they just got that little give up instinct once they get caught. I like to keep fishing till that bite stops, because especially when you're fishing and you catch some of these smaller ones, it tends to get the bigger ones riled up. I'm sure if you've ever been fishing, you've been in a school of fish, you've seen, you know, yourself catch a small one and you see that big one follow it in like, oh, and you're like, why am I not throwing a 6-inch swim bait right now? Well, it's because you're going to get like 1 or 2 bites on the day. It might be epic, but today's video isn't about that. Today's video is about getting bit when it's in high pressure, tough situations. You got to go small. You're going to get more bites. Have a little bit funner day. Ooh, look at that. There's fish chasing something. See if I can get my spinner in the mix here. Yep, there it is. Oh, you gotta love that. You gotta love calling it. I was like, man, the chase is on. I saw him chasing those minnows or whatever they were. And I was running that spinner right in that same direction. Little Mr. Smalley came out and attacked. I love it. So back to the previous tip, you see those fish, you see those bait fish getting just totally harassed and they're swimming towards the surface. Man, get your bait in the mix. Let's get way back in there. See if anything is way back at the beginning of this pool. We'll run it through kind of aggressively and see if there's a big smallmouth looking to attack a fast fish. There we go. That wasn't a smallmouth. Freaking river bully. I'm telling you, these guys try not to let any other fish eat. River freaking bullies. We don't have much of a rapid coming into this pool, but oh, there is something. Man, he was laying right up at the edge, right up at the head. And of course it was a smallmouth. Aggressive little bugger. Right up at the at the top of the rapids there. Nice, buddy. Let's see if you've got a big brother. Way up at the top there. Anything else is... Wait, and it's a little bit shallow. I can see the rocks way up there. We'll see if we can't pull it through the grass without getting too snafu'd. There we go. There we go. Another river bully. Coming to take his turn, so get off it. I got it. All right. There we go. Oh, he let it go. Or he didn't have it. There we go. That's a decent rock bass. Probably our biggest of the day. Ah, there we go. Feisty little bugger. King of the rock bass. What else is laying up in there? There we go. Another rocky. Pausa. Boza. So I want to see if there's anything chilling out. This is kind of the last little calm pocket. There we go. Yeah, like I was going to say, there's the last little calm pocket before they would hit this little baby rapid, but still, it's a transition spot, and those are the ones you want to work. And I know this is a little tiny fish, but anything could be sitting there waiting for its turn to go up or down river. Oh, you guys hear that owl? There we go. Rock bass. Chunky one sitting under that pool, under that tree. Yes, sir. Right off that rock wall. As soon as I pulled it away, he was right there ready for it. Another glorious river bully. No shortage of the rock bass today. That's all right. They're fun to mess with in between smallmouth. It's the bug of eternal stench. Ooh. Gross. It does smell like the bog of eternal stench. Saw that swirl. I wasn't sure if that was a swirl, but then I saw the water swirl. I saw the belly flash, and then I saw the water swirl on top. That is definitely a fish out there. Let's see if we can get him. There it is. There it is. And it was a smallmouth. Okay. Ooh, what's wrong with your lip, buddy? Gross. Anyway, thanks for biting. Now, I know as we've been going through some of these tips, some of you were saying, well, Matt, these are just the normal tips of fishing. Well, yes, that's true. But for those of you who are just getting into fishing, and I know many of you have messaged me and told me, hey, I'm trying to learn how to smallmouth fish. You're the guys I'm after. I want to show you guys the ways to fish for smallmouth. I'm telling you, once you get into smallmouth fishing, it is unmistakably addicting. They fight so hard. The smallest ones, you'll swear is a larger fish, and then you'll get it and you're like, man, these smallmouth put up an awesome fight. They're just so fun to fish. And the rest will be history. You'll just be a smallmouth fisherman from then on out. I'm telling you, once you become a smallmouth fisherman, there's nothing like it. I love catching a largemouth. Don't get me wrong. I love catching a big old friggin' ditch pickle. I love it. But there's something unmistakable about smallmouth fishing. Let's catch some more. Here we go. We got in the mix there. Another little rocky. Oh, here we go. That was an aggressive little bite for a rock bass. Medium-sized rocky. There we go. And another rocky. Another little small rocky. Kapow. Wow, okay. All right, we got one. Our first bright teal and orange long-haired sunfish. See ya. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Sir Rocky. There we go. Man, today is Rock Bass City. How many is that? 25, 30? They are just murderous today. Following me all the way back. See if he'll do it again. There we go. What came out of that tree? Little rock bass. And he hit it just as I pulled it onto the end of the nook right by that tree. Oh, another rocky. figured there'd be something here in front of me. I wanted to toss here a few times before I walk through this. See if I can catch fish here. And I thought I could, and I did. Rock bass and some foliage came with him. Nice little guy. Okay, maybe let's hit up the next pool. There we go. Nice. Chunky old rock bass. Whoops. Like I said, chunky old rock bass. Hey. Thank you, buddy. I guarantee you there's more back in this little pocket. Oh yeah, there was a hit. He missed it. Missed it. Nope, didn't miss that one. Yes, sir. Mr. Red Eye. Little Rocky. See ya. Come on, can we go? A 3 for 3 on casts. I think so. I think so. There we go. Ah, he had it, but not quite well enough. I think we can go 3 out of 4. I think we can do it. 3 out of 4. It's happening. There we go. Man, he was tapping that all the way from the freaking shrub all the way in the back. 3 out of 4. Yeah. All right. Oh, now why? Well, there went that spinner. Gotta throw them like you're not afraid to lose them. I gotta use my own advice, right? You gotta throw them like you're not afraid to lose it. Sayonara. That's 3 I've lost today. Glad I got a 10-pack of these dang things. That's okay. I do believe we'll get bit on pretty much any of the spinners we're throwing today. They are just working like gangbusters. Yeah, like I said. Like I said. Calm down. There we go. Look at that little squeaker. There we go. He fought for a second. I thought he was a smallmouth. I think there was a little school of Rockies over there swimming around. Okay, see you later, little buddy. There we go. Yeah, thick boy. See you, bud. Well, hopefully you guys came out with some tips on how to catch fish in like a high pressured area. This is a public park that I've fished and hung out with, and you know, basically all my life. I grew up in this small little town. Hundreds of people come here a week just to hang out, chill, have picnics, and fish. And if you just use some of the tips I gave you in this video, you should catch fish somewhere. The most important tip and the final tip is have fun. You're not gonna, even if you're not catching fish, do something where you're gonna have fun, and I promise you'll have a great time. Get out in the water, enjoy, be safe, and as always, I will catch you on the next Fishing Mission.